Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 610, recording live on June 18th, 2025. I'm your host, Cowtown Tony.
And I'm Adriel.
And I'm Kyle.
I was just
Not
waiting
bad.
for Kyle to use the eyebrows to be like, are you going in? I don't have it up.
Oh. All right, we'll start with what we did in guns. Adriel, what did you do in guns this week?
It's just been 1 week, right? I was on last week.
That is correct, yeah.
Yeah. I did a range visit. Went and hit the range and shot some guns. One of the guns is one of the ones I mentioned a couple weeks ago, but we're on YouTube, so I couldn't pull it up. But a Savage 111 in 7mm Rem Mag. So I slapped a scope on it, and I was going to go shoot it a bit before setting it up for PAL rifle.
Oh,
But I had some issues with the extraction. The extraction wasn't great, so I wanted to make sure that was squared away. So I took the extractor, and I was like, oh, well, it moves a little bit. And I pulled it, and then the little detent ball that was in there popped right out.
Oh,
Yeah, and I couldn't find it. So
that's why people do things in a bag and stuff, right?
it's been a while since I disassembled a Savage bolt. I just didn't remember. I couldn't remember that there's just a little ball in there. Anyway, so I just ordered like a bajillion of them off Amazon of various sizes. So that'll sort that self out tomorrow, because that's when it's going to show up. I think the spring tension might be a little bit too little. So what I might do is put a little shim in there just to tighten it up a bit, get a little bit more pressure. Because what it was doing, it was extracting. But then as the round like dragged over some other stuff, it would just like sit on top of the magazine and not eject. It wasn't the extractor wasn't hanging on to it long enough, which Savage changes on their newer bolts, but this one actually has a fixed ejector. So that slot there is for the fixed ejector to be in.
Blade type?
Most of their, I haven't seen a 111 without the plunger style ejector. So it was a little bit surprising to me, but blade type ejector. I like it. I like blade type ejectors. I mean, the plunger types are cool, but blade types are, I like the fact that you can change how far to fling the brass, right? What else did I shoot? That air gun up here. That pellet gun, that 22 pellet gun, that's fast and zippy. It's fun. Nice and quiet.
It is a PAL required.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. High power. Shot that. Shot some 22s, just like sighting some stuff in, because 2 weekends from now I'll be doing that Rimfire Madness, and a couple of buddies had asked if they could borrow a 22, so I was sighting some stuff in, making sure it was good. I still don't know what I'm going to borrow out, what I'm going to use myself, though.
What? Figure it out, man. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that 597 up there works the most reliably with the 597 mags, but then over here I also have a Go Fast 1022.
Yeah, you have an ultralight. Just run the ultralight.
But it needs to use the 597 adapter.
What? Just run the 10-round division and dominate in it.
I don't really want to do that. I want to compete with the big boys. I want to compete in the unlimited division.
What? Do you shoot open in 3-gun? You don't. See?
That's mostly because I don't have the pistol for it. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to run that one or this one. I still have to get some more rounds down range, just to try out reliability, and then some long range. I want to shoot up to like 100, 200, that kind of thing, and kind of see where things are at. Because I would like to shoot that red dot one. It's nice and lightweight. It's small. It's compact. Like, it would be nice and fun and fast to shoot. But
do we have a match director sneak peek? What's the longest shot?
Oh, you don't get to know yet.
Oh,
Make sure your gun's good for long range, though.
Uh-oh.
22.
You don't get to know because he doesn't know yet.
That's correct.
I'm just gonna plan on missing very quickly.
Yeah.
Throw 2 shots, dump it.
Accuracy through volume.
Off I go.
Yeah, accuracy through volume. I'm still working on that firearm cleaning class curriculum, the presentation for it. I think I'm pretty close now. I've got a better presentation set up with less FUD lore, 50% less FUD lore than the presentation I showed you guys.
Come, lad, dump your rifle into this barrel of Cosmoline.
Take your trigger group and spray it with acetone or like whatever they had in there. What
The
was it?
solvent
Some sort of
bath. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
what? I couldn't
Just
have
pour
anyways.
solvent in there. And then
I
wash it away with more solvent.
I have
And then
used,
wash that away with more solvent.
I have used brake clean on a 1022 trigger pack once. It
Ooh,
discolored the
yay.
plastic. The plastic didn't like it, but it cleaned
Yeah.
it quick. It got that gunk out of there. Yeah,
You
and I
can
have
also
used it on the receivers as well on the inside where it gets all like gummy in there. Just blast it out. It's not good for the paint. And those are painted because they use like an aluminum receiver, right?
well, aluminum won't rust anyway, so you don't need to paint on there.
Like,
It's
fine.
oxidized though.
yeah.
Overrated.
Got some MREs, not really gun related, but it's been a while since I've had
Camping
some.
related.
Camping related, yeah, kind of, yeah. While I was out doing that our PAL course, I sent you guys the photo, but while I was doing the PAL course, because I was gone from morning until like well into the evening, a squirrel got into my camper and looked around. There was no food for them, but he had to make sure. Yeah, had to make sure. So he tore a hole in my camper trying to get in there, but I've already patched it up. That was easy.
There had to have been something in there for him to just be so
No,
voracious in trying to get in.
squirrels don't care. Squirrels don't give a fuck.
That's
They'll break
interesting.
in just to take a look. There was nothing. They didn't eat anything. There was nothing in there for it to eat.
You
So
didn't
much
keep anything in the fridge either?
beers.
Well,
So one of the beers, maybe.
maybe.
Got the taste. Found some empties. Upcoming this weekend, I've got a private pal on Saturday. And then I think on the Friday, I'm going to hit the range again and do a little bit more 22 shooting.
I saw you also have a maple seed.
I don't think this weekend.
What?
Do I? No, I think that's next weekend. Do I have one this weekend?
Wouldn't be next weekend because then you're racing on the next weekend. Hello?
Yeah, June 18th. No, I don't see one this weekend.
Okay.
Tony, you're giving him a heart attack.
No, that one's July
Yes.
5th. July 5th.
Yeah, I saw you need to go to Bonneville and stuff.
That one's later. Yeah,
Okay.
do that one. I'm going to combo that one with some PAL courses too. I've already got a public and a private one booked for that weekend. So I'm going to do a private on Friday, public, and then a Maple Seed. Just all guns all the time. But no shooting. Just watching people. Anywho, that's me. What about you, Kyle?
Been busy with work, so I didn't. Well, and it's now into the 100+ degree time, so unless I go to the range early in the morning, it's just too hot. So I haven't been to the range yet, but did start getting some dry fire in. A lot of conversations. So my new boss, he is getting back into shooting, so lots of discussions. Now, basically, he's up in North Dakota, but trying to build a subsonic 223 round that will actually cycle the 223.
Oh, what weight of bullets do you need for
why?
that?
Why? Because he's got a suppressed 223, and when you got suppressed, you want to go subsonic if you can.
Yeah.
Don't most people go to Thrin or Blackout when they're doing that with an AR though?
Yeah,
They don't want to introduce a
I
second
think
kind of
that's getting
chamber.
built as well. But
Because then you run like a 200 grain bullet. I'm thinking like what weight of bullet would you need in a 223 to make it cycle and have the same power? It'd have to be more than 200 grains. I don't think you can fit that in a 223 size. Oh, they don't make them that big.
I think he's been trying 55. I was thinking he'd have to go to at least a 77. And
yeah.
I mean, he's playing around with tight group. He actually found a recipe online that uses tight group that supposedly gets it just below 1100 feet per second. So,
But
I'm actually going to be up there next week. So we'll see how probably be able to-
Progress is.
Well,
Go to see his progress.
Well, I got to go up there for work, but I will be in his town, and
Yeah.
I gotta bring. He's told me to bring my rifle, so my manager told me to bring my rifle, so it's for work, so I should be able to do it with my work truck. So
I'm just
It's
gotta
a,
figure that out.
it's a tool.
maybe that 77 grain with tight group. You need the pressure at the port, right? Is it what length gas system's on it?
Pistol. No,
Pistol.
What's the
no, it's a
barrel
carbine.
length?
He SBR'd it. So
Yes, BR. Well, maybe tight group or something similar, like maybe
Yeah.
not tight group.
Trail
well, like type
boss.
A
group's
little bit
about
slower.
as fast as you can reasonably get for that. I think like when we were looking at charts, there's not many powders that are faster than tight group.
No, that's pretty quick. But like he might need something just a little bit slower so he can keep that pressure out to where
Yeah.
the port is. Now, mind you, with it being suppressed, he'll get some good back pressure on it. That'll help.
Like the recipe he found is
Mhm.
basically a pistol round. It's going from like 3.6 grains up to maybe a max of 5 grains of of tight group for 223 for subsonic load.
It seems
So-
like not enough.
no, it doesn't. Does it?
With 9 mil, you're using 4.4 grains in a 124
I was using
grain.
4 grains for
4
my
grains. Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, with 124 grain bullet. So it seems like with a 55 or the 70 grain bullet, you'd need like a lot more.
But
Well, you're going to
so
spike
you're
the pressure
124
way too
grain
hard.
bullet, whereas the 223 is 55 or 77. So it's a lighter projectile.
Usually with a lighter projectile, you need more powder.
That's true.
Yeah.
Heavier projectile, you use less. Lighter projectile, you use more.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is stuff that's too American for me to understand.
Yeah, but I know he's making some rounds, so I'm sure I'll get firsthand experience trying to get it to cycle.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought about one thing. Well, would that work? The Strike Industry Optimus adjustable weight buffer. That may help. I don't know how low it goes.
Well,
don't
yeah,
know
I
if
was
it
thinking like without rebuilding the system, if he's gonna rebuild H1 buffer for sure, ultra lightweight bolt. He's got the tunable gas block, but at that point, I think with that you just need a wide open gas block, and yeah, like make your mass as light as possible. So then that's kind of my theory on that is if you make your reciprocating mass lighter, you need less pressure to actually move it. But
Yeah, that should be correct. But I remember Johnny's Reloading Bench on YouTube had something about subsonic 223. I forgot if Ultimate Reloader on YouTube does or not, but yeah, for listeners, in case you're interested, I guess there's some reference out there. But it would be an interesting thought experiment more than anything else I want to say.
yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me right now.
Yeah,
Tony,
looks
how about
like
you?
The Strike Industry adjustable buffer can go down to 1.7 ounce. So
What's an H1 buffer?
H1 would be 3 ounce.
Is it really?
No,
Okay.
3.6. I think the carbine is 3 ounce. So that's the lookup table they have. So
Okay.
maybe just a thought. 65
that's a-
US dollars. So not too expensive, I guess.
Strike Industries.
Mhm.
Yeah, keep that in mind. Because yeah, if it's a third the weight of an H1, then you might have something.
Maybe.
there.
Maybe runs. Yeah, I didn't do much in guns. My Savage rifle came back. I haven't unboxed it yet. They wrote me a report saying nothing is wrong with it. So now I'm really confused. Why is it having so many light strikes? It could be PPU have really hard primer and the gun just doesn't like it. We'll see. They didn't address the concern I have regarding the trigger growing heavier, but I haven't seen it reproduced yet. So I guess maybe it's a little hard for them to check. I wish they would have maybe opened up the trigger and take a look at it, but didn't cost me a cent despite not finding an issue. So I guess that's pretty cool. We'll see. I just hope when there's a massive deer in front of me, I don't pull the trigger and hear click. That would be really unfortunate. I did get myself a new pair of Air Pros. I don't know how these missed my radar to start. These are the Razer. They have a name change now. I think they're called a Rope now, but they're the electronic earbud headset, flexible neck worn.
Those look like the
They're like the GS Pros from Axel
yeah.
or G Extreme.
They look
Pros.
exactly the same. They're probably
Fair.
exactly the same.
Probably.
I'm actually curious on the price on those.
They are $80 when I bought them.
Okay, so
Not too bad, in my opinion. They have, they give you a nice little carrying case, which is quite nice. And they have massive, massive ear tips, which is really good for me. Like, for example, my earbuds right now, I'm using the largest ear tips, and they're still a little small. My ear canal is quite big, I guess. These I can actually only put on the mediums, and they are already pretty well fitted. Like the large ones will start to hurt a little bit over time, which is, I guess, good for a hearing protection perspective. The ear tips are not as soft as the 3M industrial foamies I'm used to at work, though. So we'll see. I always had a really bad experience with Walkers because I tried their Razer over-ear ones, and they have this very particular vintage radio sound. That's the best way I can describe it. They just sound very not natural, and these sound pretty good so far. So that's something. I'll be trying them out, and maybe I'll have some more to say about them later in the shooting season. But I'm pretty excited because I'm now wearing. You don't want to get sunburn, as Kyle has mentioned. Summer has arrived, so you want to protect your neck and your head, and then it's hard to put on the over-ear headphones. I've really grown out of passive only ear protection just because I can't hear everyone around me. That I think for range safety reasons and just convenience reasons, I don't prefer that. But yeah, hopefully these are good investments.
I'd be interested in comparing those to the Axles. Like I just pulled both up online. The Walkers are half the price. Interesting, they don't have like a molded earpiece to go over and around your ear. It's just on the rope. But I mean, for half the price, I'm intrigued.
I tried the GS and I couldn't get them to fit in my ears. So
Oh no,
Interesting. I'm a particular not a fan for like truly wireless ear protections, like the AirPods things. I just feel like I'm gonna lose it. And so I prefer to have a rope to attach the two sides, so I can maybe take one out if I need to, and the other side will just hang out.
yeah, and like with the GS, I thought the rope would annoy me, but it was fine. But I mean, I got the cordless wireless ones now, and actually the way they work, they lock into ears, but they are pricey. Where if these Walkers are decent at half the cost of, because I'm seeing $90 to $120. I'm gonna say that's probably whether you do standard or Bluetooth on the Walkers.
Right.
And the GS
I have the standard ones.
200. So yeah,
I'll see. I'll report back on that.
cool.
Let's go to upcoming events. Maple Seeds.
yeah, I mean, there's some coming up. Oh, you want specific ones? Okay. This weekend, Stittsville, we've got one 21st, 22nd at Stittsville. Weekend after that, Havelock in New Brunswick and Blue Ridge in Ontario. Weekend after that, Vermilion, Alberta, Sackville in New Brunswick, and Kamloops in BC. That's all the same weekend. Weekend after that, that's July 12th, Tabor in Alberta, LTV in Ontario, and Bonnyville on the July the 13th.
I see you have an asymmetrical assignment for non-restricted versus restricted PALs now. I see July 6th, 12th, 19th, separate locations for the PAL course.
I'm all over the place. Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
be doing Devon on July 6th, 12th in Bonnyville, and then 19th I'll be back at Sherwood Park again. And non-restricted's already starting to sell.
Cool. And we'll have this part in the main topic. Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge PRS 2-day qualifier match be in a month, July 12th and 13th, near Calgary, Alberta. And 3-gun matches. Do we need to emphasize that your Rimfire Madness is coming up still?
Yeah, June 20th, 29th. Come out and shoot it. If you're in the Edmonton area, it's going to be a good time. The stages are going to be beginner shootable, which means beginner will be able to show up and shoot it. You don't need much. A semi-auto
300-yard rimfire target. Let's go.
Well, you won't be hitting that one.
There are acceptable things that you just won't score on. That's okay. Take a penalty. Leave it.
Oh, I thought you went to war on those.
That's the right idea.
Keep shooting until you hit it.
No, until your mags are all empty.
Yeah.
And then you have to just give up for the whole stage.
The GSGs are not legal anymore, but step up to the plate, 1 10-round drum. Just go for it.
Well, these 5.97 mags are pretty close. They hold quite a few rounds in them.
How are you going to strap it to yourself, though? Dumb pouch?
I'm gonna make like a little Kydex loop on here, and then epoxy it on, and then stick that on my belt.
There you go.
That's how people were doing the semi-auto shotgun mags, the 10 and 25 round mags that we had for those. So
at the pump
I guess, that works. Yep. Mm-hmm. That works. All right, going to the news, we have Premier Doug Ford calling for castle laws in Canada. That was brought to us by himself via the CCFR. He did mention baseball bats, but he didn't mention rifles. But it's close enough. Like taking out someone's kneecap with a baseball bat was very, very illegal in Canada before. But he brought it up. It's kind of interesting. I like him.
No, it's not like him at all. Even if they brought that in, they'd find a way to screw it up.
I wouldn't be surprised either way. Charge it first, worry about things later. I think not much news. G7 was happening. A lot of, military jets flying everywhere. Not really gun related. I don't think that really impacted the shooting sports much. The exclusion zone was decently small. Going to new gun stuff. Adriel, would you mind pulling these up, please?
I guess I can.
We have, at least new that I've found, CamPro primers for large rifle and large rifle magnums. Somehow
this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Large rifle magnums for $110 per 1,000. Absolutely incredible.
And at Tanda, I believe they made it into the country as Gynex primers previously, but now they're just, rebranded, distributed by CamPro, which was the case for small rifle and small pistol primers from Gynex.
It says made by...
it says made by the same people, but I'm thinking maybe because CamPro Canada company, they're distributing them. Maybe
they probably bought a certain amount of rights to it or something. Yeah.
Maybe that will make the availability slightly better. So it's good to see. $110 for 1,000 rifle Magnum, which is kind of crazy because the large rifles are cheaper for some reason. The Magnums are cheaper.
Yeah.
The large rifles are $140. So. We do not condone the use of Magnum primers in non-Magnum
but the Magnum guys have been starved for a long time of reasonably large rifle Magnum. This is crazy. That's a crazy good price. They'll sell out. I don't know how much they have for stock, but they'll sell out of this stuff. All those guys with their ELR rifles.
You should pick a box up. You have a 300 Win Mag now.
I have lots of large rifle Magnum that I bought.
Decades ago?
More than a decade ago, and it was way cheaper than this.
Don't remind me. I'm seeing Score Ammo or Prairie Shot is making more progress in the in the space, I guess. They have, they're already out of stock for some of them. Under $1 a shot Magnum Steel waterfall hunting rounds, 12 gauge. Pretty spicy. Pretty good prices.
Steel BB. Oh yeah, shred that goose.
Yeah, they have steel shots available. They have target shots. They have like
Got some here.
$1 a round. That's pretty good for
this is like
shot.
under 50 cents a round for target loads. They are being distributed across Cabela's now, so that should give them
$13 a
more.
box is still pricey.
It's only 1 ounce though.
It's nothing special, I guess. Yeah, it's about the going. Well, the target load isn't as aggressively cheap as the hunting stuff, but it's like about going rate. And they also have
Was
like,
15. Ugh.
that's just
gross.
Cabela's. And Cabela's also have. Oh, do they not ship this anymore? I guess. They have
If Biden.
clay targets on sale for $25 for what 100 and.
I don't want to
735?
say what this
What's
used to
the-
go.
yeah,
Back in the day, what this stuff cost. Back in the day,
It's funny because
$25.
our shotgun match MD mentioned that clays are really expensive these days, and I guess that's a fact. So if you're an MD and you're interested in putting up like action shotgun matches and you want to include, clays in your target array, maybe consider picking some up from Cabela's.
No.
Those guys are buying it by the pallet.
Yeah. No, I'd be talking to the club. And
True.
you're getting a much better deal than what you're getting from Cabela's.
Yeah, they buy it
Yeah,
by the
maybe.
pallet. Both the ranges, the outdoor ranges that I belong to, they buy that stuff by the pallet.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
even by the pallet, multiple pallets. They'll have
When we had targets come in, we would do it like I think twice a year, and yeah, they were multiple pallets. Like trailer is full, and we filled
You
the
have a
entire shed.
sporting clay thing too, right?
Well, yeah,
so
they're
That's
sporting.
probably
Yeah.
why. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
but that's the
BTSA is
thing,
not
like, if-
big in shotguns. so-
Chances are, if you got there's only a few ranges around where they do action shooting, but they don't do clay sports. So I mean, if you're there with a range that does clay sports, try and just see if you can buy them through the club. Like, hey, money's going back to the club anyways. You don't need a lot for an action shooting sports, especially compared to a clay sport. But to go out to the gravel pit or the bush and you're just playing around, yeah, fine. But I wouldn't be running a match buying them from Cabela's.
I got this next one here. Rangeview. I've been looking at like bore guides because I was like, I should get a bore guide.
Whoa. Wait, you can print a bore guide? Come on.
Should I print one? Oh.
What? What? It's just a plastic tube, right? What's the...
Yeah.
Yeah?
I didn't even think about that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go look those up and see if there's any good ones. And if I find a good one, I'll put it on our Discord that I found a good 3D printable bore guide.
That reminds me, I gotta put the other stuff up there too.
This is the most expensive bore guide I've ever seen in my life.
$125 board. What kind of magic is this?
I don't know. Space magic. Yeah. Oh yeah. You put your patch there and then you just push it through. It's magic.
Ooh.
Oh, it's like self-inserting. What?
I don't know.
It's like breech-loaded, not muzzle-loaded
Yeah.
patch.
Patches. Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to show it because it was fancy. But I mean, yeah, there's bore guides for like $8 you can also get. I didn't know that Browning made something like this, but Browning has the Merrill. Look at this freaking weird gun. $4,000. Look at the
Straight pull.
magazine.
Interesting. Why does everyone jump into the straight pull game when we see the new Beretta? And,
Yeah. This one kind of looks like the Beretta, so maybe it is the Beretta, but it comes with, this is the 9-round mag on there. Look at that thing. Look at how
ugly it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also comes with a 3-round mag. Unless you get 300 Win mag, then you just get 2 3-round mags. If you get 30-06, you get a 4 and a 10. If you get 308, you get a 3 and a 9. Why not a 4 and a 10 with like the 306? That's just longer. Flush magazine for the 300 Win mag and the 3-round mags. Okay, yeah.
$4,000 though. Ooh. I don't even think the Beretta is that expensive.
No, I don't think so either. This is way, way out there.
Oh, it does look like a well. Is it more true straight pull? Like
Wow.
on the Impulse, for example, it's not quite. So when I think about straight pull rifles, I keep thinking about the Ross because Canada, and that ball handle doesn't move at all. As in,
Or the
if you
K31.
hold onto the bolt, it doesn't do anything. But on the Blazer R8, for example, the Beretta, and also the Savage, if you pull to the very back, the bolt handle will pivot onto the unlock position, and when you jam it back into chamber, it will pivot into a lock position. So like it's a very odd feeling because like the bolt handle have a mind of its own. It locks and then it want to pivot back. Not like, for example, an SBI or the Renegade where it's just like an AR bolt handle. You jam it back in and you're done.
Or like a K31 where it's using a bolt sleeve to like rotate the bolt for you.
Right. So yeah, that bolt handle is stationary as well. So I don't know. There's some weird things going on.
Okay. Anyways, there's that. The Morale. That's at Canada's Gun Store. And then Dominion Outdoors has without warning muzzle brakes, which look like they're big, lots of ports, all the ports.
Yeah.
Probably 10.
No, I think they're like 6. 1, 2,
Five
3,
gil.
4, 5.
Well, 5
gil.
per, right? So
Whoa!
whoa,
$900.
what is going on?
Oh, I didn't see that.
That is without warning.
Well, it's not more than a brake; it's a barrel tuner.
I saw that was a very rimfire thing, though.
No, people do it on centerfire too. I learned something
Self-timing
new
muzzle
today.
brake.
I learned something new today.
I still don't understand what's self-timing about it, but like I've heard that terminology used before. But
Well, with some of them, you can like on the back. There's like a jam nut. It doesn't look like there's a jam nut on this one. There has to be something moving. Oh, maybe the whole thing's sleeved. There's a cut line right there, and then there's a set screw in the front, so you can time the whole thing. You tighten on the back, then you move it, and then you put that.
Yeah, so self-timing in that you don't have to adjust your shims or anything to get
Yep.
it timed. You
Push
tighten it
wash,
on there, and then you can time it without messing around with that. Yeah.
got it. Okay, not like you will time for me.
No.
Okay, I saw it's like you put it on, you take a few shots, it will right itself for some reason, and you tighten it up, and you're done.
It's like the spinners you get on wheels for if you get a real baller car, right? Spinners for
Like the Rolls Royce that always stays upright. Yeah.
yeah. 24 position adjustable locking harmonic barrel tuner. It's integrated. Now lives inside the muzzle brake's body, protecting it from impact, and it doesn't hang over the barrel.
The price is without warning. Jeez.
Yeah, I was not warned about that.
It's up there. Yeah.
Wow.
I can say a lot of hunting rifles out there are not that expensive as the muzzle brake itself. That is very impressive. All right, let's go to our main topic.
So for our main topic, we got Vanya on with Apex Optics. Talk about stuff that they released at SHOT Show and get a status on that. But more importantly, they're I think it's the second year for the Apex Rocky Mountain Challenge Pro Series PRS match. So welcome to the show, Vanya.
Oh, thanks for having me on, guys.
So why don't we just right out the gate get into the match? So what are people expecting? Is this like it's a Pro Series event? So is it just your top guys, or you want to see everybody out there? Is it
What kind
Yeah,
of
no.
and where is it?
So it's just southwest of Calgary. So literally, it's probably 20 to 22 minutes west of the kind of the southwest edge of the city. So it's, I'd say, probably 50 minutes from the airport. So it's not bad. As far as locations go, we're actually pretty lucky to be able to host it where we do. So it's actually at a different location this year than it was last year. So we just secured the new match spot, and we're really excited for that. It's right in the foothills of the Canadian Rockies. We're right on the edge, literally bordering the land borders Kananaskis country. So if you've ever been to Kananaskis, you know how beautiful it is. And yeah, no, the match location, we literally were on it yesterday all day. We're going there tomorrow to do some filming as well as some match prep. And that we have these two really cool spots that we can hold a match. And one is kind of in a meadow valley, and then another one is up in what we call the Woodlands area. So we're actually planning on having the match in both locations this year, which is, you know, the first 10 stages down in the meadow and the kind of the clearing with some trees, and then the second part of the match is going to be on the day 2. Is going to be kind of like more like an NRL Hunter style, or kind of the Rocky Mountain style match where you're literally shooting through trees, you're shooting in very narrow lanes and that kind of stuff. So you're almost getting 2 matches for one, which is really cool.
Nice. So I understood what you just said. So one day everyone's going to be down in the meadows, and then the second day up in the trees. You're not going to have groups in both spots both days.
Not likely, unless we exceed a certain number, like unless we get over 130 shooters. Right now we're about 105, 108. So unless we get a big influx of people, I think more than likely we're just going to run 10 squads, and we're going to run the lower section on day 1 and the upper section on day 2. There's a whole bunch of that. They're about a kilometer apart, center to center, to each firing line. So it's not super close, but it's right there, right? They're not next to each other, but so it presents a couple of, you know, logistical challenges with, you know, porta potties and bathrooms and waters and snacks, and we want to make sure people are hydrated. So we're happy to do that, but I think it just becomes easier if we can contain it to day 1 and then upper section day 2. But, you know, we're able to stretch out the yardage out to like 1,300 yards on each side. So we're not going to be going that far. We're probably going to go about 1,000, 1,050 max. But, you know, we're going to have some elevation shifts. You're going to be shooting down. You're going to be shooting up and all around, and big pans and left and right. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Nice.
And to kind of answer your first question, which is, no, it's not geared just for the top guys. So it's called a Pro Series because they typically in the PRS over the last bunch of years, they've been kind of the local matches that you have, which is your kind of your club level matches, which are in the regional series, and they have the Pro Series, which they usually refer to as the national matches, which is only the first thing that I only heard that for the first time like months ago, and I was like, what's a national match? But they really mean the Pro Series matches, which is the big 2 days. So really, we want everybody to come out. If you've been curious about it, come check it out. Come shoot the match. The best way to experience a match is to shoot it, and it's the same as in 3-gun or IPSC or IDPA or anything else. Just come and shoot it, right? And whatever equipment you have, there's actually a new division in PRS this year, which is called the Sportsman Division. So you're come out with your, you know, I think it's limited to a 6.5 Creedmoor as a cartridge, which is a bit questionable for people, but most people have a 6.5 Creedmoor of some kind as a hunting rifle or as a plinking rifle or whatever. So come bring out your 6.5 Creedmoor, and as long as it's under 13 pounds with the scope on it, you're probably good to go. So, and there's a whole separate trophy for whoever wins the Sportsman Division. So, which is really cool. So it's really meant to invite people who are kind of traditional hunters or just recreational shooters to come and try the match out, because most people are going to have a 6.5 Creedmoor of some kind generally, right? So it's a fairly widely available cartridge and chambered in pretty much every factory rifle. So, yeah. I think that's super cool this year. And we want guys or guys and gals and everybody of every denomination come out and try it out if you've ever been curious about it, because it's a super fun sport. It's a fantastic community, and you're going to have a great time this year.
Awesome. So for the people who may have not been there, or even people who are listening, who are going to be going to, what about logistics? Like showing up for check-in, how they're going to have to basically find out where their first stage is. Nah. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's super easy. We basically offer check-in on the Friday. So this year on the Friday, for the first time ever for our match, we've never done this before. We're offering up what's called typically referred to as a train-up day. So we're going to have 5 stages available for people where they can go and shoot the props and shoot off the props. And then we'll have separate match steel and train-up day steel. So you're not going to shoot the match steel. You don't get your matchbook until you're done for the day. So there's no opportunity to pregame it or anything like that. So we don't even know if that prop is going to be the actual match prop that day on the match weekend. So generally speaking, people can come out. I think we're opening that up at like 11 o'clock or earlier. I can't remember the exact time, but you come out on the Friday and you can either choose to shoot the train up day, and I think it's an extra $40 or $50 if you want to do that. Go shoot the whole day or not. You can just, that's completely optional. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. We're going to have a zero board available for people to zero their rifle. There's going to be a plumb bob on that zero board as well. And there's going to be a second zero board on the upper section as well for day 2. If somebody needs to, re-zero their rifle in an emergency or something's not working right, they can at least check it really quickly. But then on the Friday, you check in, you come and you go and you get your matchbook, you can go to the zero board after you're done shooting for the day. We're going to have a welcoming area where we're going to have like a little welcome party, a beer garden that's available to everybody who's in the match. That's all free of charge and included, of course. And then, but all the firearms have to be put away for the day. You get a little wristband once you're done shooting that you can go and actually partake in the beer garden that's off to the side. So by the registration area. And then on the Saturday, if you don't have to end up coming on the Friday, because a lot of people are still traveling, not everybody can take the full day off work or a half day. So whoever shows up on the Saturday morning, you can still check in on the Saturday. The zero board will be still available to you. So I think we'll be there at 7 o'clock in the morning. The match safety brief is not going to be until 8 or 8:30. So you have lots of time to get in there and zero your rifle or check things and make sure that everything survived the trip and the travel down to the match site. And we're going to have signage everywhere. It's going to lead you right into the registration area and the parking area. And then we're going to take care of you. Just come tell us you're shooting the match, give us your name. We'll check you off, sign you in, and you're good to go. And then basically how you're going to start the day on the Saturday is whatever your squad number that you're in is going to be at the stage that you start on.
Oh, nice. That makes it easy.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome that with the tune-up on Friday with the props, like that's awesome. Someone never shot the match. They can see what they potentially could see and kind of work on getting into position.
Exactly. People can at least get a sense of what they're going to need to do. And it's like, oh man, I don't necessarily know how to do this. And then they can spend a little bit of time in practicing and getting figured out, how do I get stabilized on this particular prop or in this position or whatever, right? And make sure that I'm super stable. And maybe it's an opportunity for people who've never had a lot of chance to practice, me being the number one guy of that. And my matches are my practice, right? So I get to try new things out of 2-day national matches. So like if you never tried rear tripod support, here's your opportunity. Whip out the tripod and give it a shot, so, and there's no time, there's nothing like that. So I think there's going to be plenty of people out there trying things out, which is, I think, a good opportunity. And we've seen that at a lot of US matches. So we figured we would just offer that up as an opportunity for our shooters this year.
Nice. That's awesome. And like PRS, that's not like so my understanding, not super physical running. It's more or less you build your position
Yeah, exactly. It's not like tactical games or anything like that, where there's no physical exertion required outside of carrying your rifle and your gear right in hand. So really the way it works is, the RO's got the timer. You understand the course of fire, shooter ready. Yes. And then you're good. You have to have all your gear in hand. So you have to have your rifle, any support bags. If you're using a tripod, you have to have all that in hand off the ground as well. And then as soon as the timer goes beep, you got, minute 45 or 2 minutes, depending on the part times to complete the entire stage. And usually that means there's a little bit of movement from one prop to the next, or from a prone position up to a prop, or vice versa. There's a little bit of moving around, but there's no running involved. There's no lifting of heavy things. You don't have to position any props anywhere or rearrange things. Generally speaking, all the props are going to be super solid, and they're going to be as bolted down to the ground as humanly possible in a field situation. But yeah, it's not very physically exerting in that regard. There will be some rucking, I guess, from stage to stage. So you have to be able to carry all your gear with you. Some people do have those little carts that everybody kind of from the 3-gun days uses, those little child carriers, so the little joggers. But that's less common, I would say. But some people still do use them.
Well, I guess that is an important point. So your stages, you can't basically shoot out of your vehicle. You basically park in a parking area, and then you're gonna have to walk in between all the stages.
Yeah, literally, like you park in the parking area, you take all your gear and your backpack and everything with you, all your ammo for the day, everything, right? And I mean, the parking area is relatively close. If you're like, oh crap, I forgot something, you can go back and get it. But everything that you need with you for the day should be on your person, in your backpack, whatever. And then you basically go from stage to stage to stage. And, we feed everybody lunch, and we have snacks throughout the day. We supply Gatorade and water and electrolyte packs and all sorts of stuff. So, we try to take care of everybody, make sure that, you don't have to have a bagged packed lunch with you necessarily. We'll feed everybody on day one. We'll feed everybody on day two at the banquet as well. We have a nice smoked brisket meal coming, and that was catered last year as well, and it was a huge hit with everybody. So while we're getting everything set up for the awards and we're tabulating all the scores and making sure that everything's good, and we open up kind of the period where people can kind of question or arbitrate their scores, everybody's sitting down for a nice big lunch and eating dinner, and then we can get right into the awards and the prize table stuff. So yeah,
nice, cool. So yeah, no, I think that's an important piece, because even for 3-gun, I like to know whether, okay, do I need to pack the wagon and haul stuff around all day, or can I drive to the stage and grab what I need, bomb up mags or whatever. So that's a good important point, and awesome that you're gonna have all the water and food out there for everybody. So
yeah, we try to take care of everybody for sure. Yeah,
awesome. About how many rounds? Like, how many? Do you have approximate round count for how many targets there are going to be?
Yeah, I think we're going to be about 194 rounds this year. I haven't quite finalized it 100% yet. We're going to probably have that all finalized tomorrow or this weekend. But yeah, it's going to be between 180 and 200. But I think 190, 194 might be the golden ticket.
Is there much opportunity for makeup, or is it basically you get one shot per target?
One shot per target. So one impact per target, and they're all sealed targets. So literally, if you get an impact, that's a point. If you miss, that's nothing. So out of, we're expecting, there's going to be probably anywhere in the range of 45 to 50 targets this year.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, we bought a lot of steel this year.
Well, that's awesome.
Steel's nice. It makes it quick.
Yes.
No reset.
Yeah, it's great. And you don't have to reset it or anything, right? So,
yeah. You guys using flashers? Like hitting
we do. Anything past about 700 yards, I throw a flasher on there. So,
inside 700, you just on binos then?
On binos, spotting, you can actually hear the impact too off the AR-500. Either 3/8 or half-inch steel. So you see it and then you hear it a whole bunch of seconds later. So
yeah.
You guys using bigger stuff too. In 3-gun, we're always using 5.56 with like 55 grain bullets. Like, they're hard to hear.
Yeah, exactly. No, we use flashers on anything past. I think last year I had anything past 600 I was using the flasher, but I think that was a little bit overkill. So we're gonna just scale it back. Even though I actually bought more flashers, but we don't need it as much. So the steel does move off the hanger pretty well. You can definitely see an impact fairly easily. I think most of the bullet grains are anywhere between 105 to like 135 for the 6 millimeters of the 25 cals, and some guys are using 147s and 6.5 Creedmoor, and that's kind of it. And then maybe on some of the 308 tactical class, then maybe there'll be a little bit heavier bullets there, but generally speaking, it's nothing less than 105.
Yeah, so that's gonna make it a little easier to see in here. It's like, Adriel said, I'm thinking 55 grain bullets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and most of them are going between that 2800 to 2960 FPS anyway. So,
cool. So it's in Kananaskis. So I mean, there's nice hotels or resorts in the area there. Are you guys doing camping on site?
So we're not doing camping on site this year. We haven't quite confirmed if we're allowed to do that or with the landowner, but there's a campground that's 7 minutes away into Kananaskis. It's not a full service by any stretch. I think it's a first come, first serve too. So like a classic Alberta campground that's in the mountains, that's run by the Alberta Parks. But so there are two campgrounds there. There's one 5 or 7 minutes away, and there's another one further 15 minutes away into Kananaskis. But if you want to stay closer to town or some sort of facilities or have full hookups with a camper or a trailer, we have campgrounds in Black Diamond or Diamond Valley now. They jam the two cities together. So Diamond Valley, that's where we're staying for match setup. It's only about 22 minutes from the match location, which is great. And then there's another one that's closer that's only 19 minutes away that's right in town. So there are a couple of camping options there. A lot of people are renting Airbnbs in either Diamond Valley or Okotoks or Southwest Calgary, or hotels. There's lots of hotels that way as well. So there's lots of places to stay.
Awesome. How do people register and how much is it?
Yeah, so the match fee is $300 Canadian, which is still cheap compared to all the American matches. They're all $300 US pretty much. So you're saving 40% by shooting in Canada. And it's on apexoptics.co. Right on the top bar, you'll be able to see the Apex 2025 match. Click on there, and they'll give you all the details. We have travel information. We have nearby hotels, hotel room blocks that our team was able to get as well. Campground information, as well as the directions to the match location, which we should have updated by this weekend. But I'll give you GPS coordinates. It's a paved road all the way into the last kilometer, which is great. So once you turn off the main highway, it's just a kilometer into the land and you're good to go. So it's a really easy drive, not crazy at all. And thank you for posting the link.
Awesome. Cool. Well, yeah, I wish I could make it up for that match because it sounds like it'd be a good time. And I mean, if you're looking into getting into PRS, I mean, I think a high level match would be one of the good ones to go check out instead of like I don't know, some outlaw match that someone's putting on, because you're going to see the effort put into the match to make it good, because you want to get all the all like the top guys out there, but then so you got to have that, and I like how it sounds like you're doing it. And,
yeah, no, for sure. It's going to be definitely a high quality match. Like I said before, like we're trying to make it hittable for the new folks coming out as well. We want to make sure it's a fair match across the board, but you still have to have the challenge for the top guys as well, right? So it's a very good balanced course of fire. We're not trying to do anything super exciting this year. We're going to see how this year goes in this new location, and next year we might throw a couple of other things into the mix. But I think we're going to try to keep it relatively simple, but still really fun, really challenging, and a great time. And like I said before, the scenery and the food won't be able to be beat. So we're really lucky in that regard.
Awesome. Well, I do know that these matches don't go with just one or two people. And I know you're recruiting a bunch of the Apex team members to help out with ROing. And I'm sure you probably got a whole bunch of sponsors for the match. So it'll give you an opportunity to shout out those guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm actually looking at my sponsors. I was working on sponsored shirts this weekend, and yeah, we've got a ton of sponsors. We're so lucky and blessed. Obviously, being part of the community and being part of the industry really gets us to leverage a lot of the relationships that we built up over the last 5 years. But that's not a given, right? Like we can't expect everybody to sponsor a match this year or every year or anything like that. So I'd love to give a huge shout out to MDT. They were first in line. As soon as we announced the match date again, they're like, okay, here we go. They sent us a huge match sponsorship package. Red Deer Shooting Center, another one of our great partners in the business as well. They're one of our best dealers, and they just jumped both feet in, and they're actually building custom rifles for a few of their guys to shoot the match, and they're super excited for it. Proof Research out of Montana, they gave us so many prize shirts, it's ridiculous, for free barrels. We got Ultimatum and IBI barrels as well. They've sent us a whole bunch of stuff as well. Foundation Stocks, MPA, Masterpiece Arms, obviously, and then we have a whole schwack of Fat Boy tripods as well as a big sponsor too. And I think Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops are going to be back again this year. So yeah, we got Trigger Tech, another great Canadian company, and we have Vortex Canada stepped in as well and sent a bunch of stuff. So that's awesome, and thank you for that. So yeah, I think we have my last count, I think we have over $80,000 in prize table.
Nice.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're really lucky. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a full prize table with physical product and free certs for product and all sorts of stuff. So it's going to be super cool.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the match right now. You guys have quite a few people registered. Is impact scoring like practice score for PRS?
Kind of. So I'll give you a quick rundown on impact. So we know the guy that started it. He's on our shooting team. So his name is Mark Zork, and he's one of our pro shooters. And him and his partner Bill started impact scoring about a year and a bit ago. They kind of got the idea, or maybe a couple of years ago, but it really kind of came out of its shell at the last year Pro Series finale. So it is officially built for precision rifle sports first, whereas I think practice score was more for the dynamic pistol and other sports that kind of evolved around there. But it was built specifically for PRS, NRL Hunter, NRL 22, like any of those kind of ORPS, CRPS matches and all that stuff. That general style of shooting. But I think they're starting to branch out into some other disciplines as well. But they came out with it and they've kind of taken it over, and it's really kind of grown like wildfire. So we have no official affiliation with them. We just happen to know the guy. But as soon as I tried the app out and the website, I loved it right away. It was super easy to use it as an MD just to set it up. And the cool thing about it is it has live scoring. So everything, if you have cell coverage or Wi-Fi or Starlink or anything, it just all the ROs, they run it on their phones. So you don't have to run tablets anymore. So you just an app on the phone, and they just go impact, miss, impact. And right away, it's in the cloud, and everything gets pulled down. You can watch how people are doing. If you're one of those score watchers like we are, if we're not at a match, we'll see how people are doing. Just right away, you get instant feedback. So it's like super live scoring. And then there's no delay on that. And then the cool thing as an MD, what I really like about the live scoring feature is that there's absolutely no need for arbitration for scores anymore. So because once you hit approve and you sign off to the RO's score, it's like, yeah, you got a 6. Okay, you approve 6, and he hits approve. Okay, that's your score. You don't get to bitch and complain about it afterwards, because it's all went up there and it's all synchronized and all the scores are correct. We are running backups as a paper backup on everybody's back of their matchbook. They will write down their score and the RO will initial it just in case. But we used to open up like a 15 or 20 minute arbitration period at the end of the match before we finalize the scoring. And that takes up a lot of time. So really, there should be no need for that anymore. So yeah, the live scoring is super cool, and there are some competitors who like to watch the score, and some who don't even want to look at it. So if they know how many points behind they are, but so that's a really neat feature. So we've got Wi-Fi and point-to-point access points set up and all that kind of stuff planned. So it'll be pretty neat.
Cool.
So like in the shooting area, do you have the TV set up with the rolling scores updating?
Sorry, was that? Yeah, your connection broke up for a sec.
Oh, in the shooting area, like the shooters area, kind of like a little lounge area, you got updating scores set up on a TV?
I thought about doing that. I might bring out a 60-inch screen or something and just have it sit there. But there's not necessarily like a shooting area. So maybe by like registration or something, if somebody's like walking by and they go, "Oh yeah, that guy's behind me now." So that might be cool. Well, we might have to do that next year. We'll see. Yeah.
Gonna stress so many people out. It's like,
Exactly. I'm not a score watcher, so for me, I don't want to know how everybody else is doing. I'm only going to focus on my thing. But there are some guys that just love to know. Oh, I'm only 2 points behind, so I'm going to clean the next stage and do really well. So
yeah.
I like to know, but I also don't care.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to look at scores in the night.
I can't.
I'm the same.
I'll look, but I don't care.
Then I'll have shooting buddies I'm staying with, and they'll just make sure that whether I look at them or not, I know what happened that day.
See, when I played hockey in my men's league games, I would show up and I would like, nobody tell me the score of the hockey game. I got a PVR. I don't want to know. So that was, if they were talking about it as I walked into the dressing room, they would stop. So which I appreciated. So I'm kind of the same mentality with shooting sports. I don't want to know. It'll just bear out how it bears out, right?
Yeah. Cool. Well, I wanted to get into some of the new products that you guys announced at SHOT Show and see a status on them, because I know you guys had the Ion, the Vapor, and a bunch of mounts and everything.
Yeah, so the mounts are literally inbound right now. So we got the first set of our accessories a couple of weeks ago when they're sitting in the warehouse. We haven't put them up on the website yet because we want all of them to kind of show up. And we got 30 millimeter hunting rings. We got 34 millimeter competition mounts, rings with basically the ability to swap out the top for like a bubble level or for a Picatinny rail. Then we have we got a bunch of adapters for the RMR platform. So we have different risers and some 45-degree offsets for that as well, which is pretty cool. We've been coming out with that for a little while now. So finally, they finished production a little bit ago. So they've been stuck in transit, just like seemingly everything these days. But the Ions are in production as we speak still. So they're not quite there yet. And the Vapors are right on the cusp of being ready. So I have a couple of the final version pre-productions that landed my way that I've been really, really impressed with and super happy with. So they're looking great. And yeah, we're about to pull the trigger on the full thing, and they should be ready inside the next month.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah, I know there's probably a lot of people looking out for those. What about the stock on the other stuff? I know stock fluctuates all the time. And that, how's that looking?
Yeah, we're fully stocked up on pretty much everything. I think we right in the new warehouse where the shelves are full of everything, so we're good. We had a massive backlog of stuff that we had to clear for Rivals and Rival X's, and those were the ones that we were waiting the longest on for production. But we're fully stocked up there, and now we actually have inventory that we're keeping in Japan at our warehouse factory. So anytime if we're running below a certain threshold, I'm literally tell them to ship more over and just kind of pay for them as we go. So it's been a good setup that way. So that's something that we were instituting as of the last 6-8 months is we've been working with our factory to figure out a way to, I don't necessarily need everything like now, but let's create extra and just keep it in Japan. So we have that going for Edges, for Hunters, and for Rivals as well now. So we're good to go on pretty much everything. We have all the Atoms, all the Fusions, the Weather Shield, everything's in stock, and the Binos just got restocked as well. So we're fully stocked up, which is great.
Nice. When do you expect the accessories, like the mounts and that, going on the website?
I kind of expected them this week, so,
Okay.
so I'm thinking next week maybe. So as soon as I get an update, we're going to start working on all our media guys have to get all the photography of the products done of the final version of it. So we'll put them up on the website probably inside the next 10 days. So I would imagine they're all going to be here pretty quick.
Nice. Awesome. Well, anybody have any other questions?
No, I don't think I have any other questions. It's just exciting to see some of that new product coming out. Match sounds really cool. What date was that again? I don't know if you mentioned.
Yes, it's July 12th, 13th with the train-up day on the 11th. So this is the Friday the 11th, the Sunday the 13th. And it's the second weekend of Stampede too. So we've tried to make it a destination match for people to come out. A lot of Americans are bringing their families and their wives. They're like, oh, my wife is over. We want to go to Canmore and Banff. And I've always wanted to come to Stampede. So it's a perfect opportunity. They will come a little bit early, hit up Stampede, then go shoot the match, and then we'll go to Banff and Canmore. So I'm like, perfect.
Yeah,
exactly. I think I remember hearing about there's going to be a side stage or something going on at the match as well. You mentioned something about a side stage or something?
Yes. Yes. So the side stage, we're going to have a cowboy themed side stage with a 22 dueling tree. So we're going to literally have a lever action 22 from Odell Engineering, and everybody's going to have to wear a cowboy hat while shooting it. It's going to be surrounded by hay bales and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be fun. But really, it's going to be winner takes the rifle. So you pay $20 to shoot it, and whoever gets the fastest time on the dueling tree and wins the rifle.
Nice.
It's a good win.
Yeah.
We provide all the ammo too and everything. So
what's the cost on that? And is it just one go, or can guys just keep buying in?
Sorry, what was that? I missed the percentage.
Is it just one go, or can guys keep buying in? And how much does it cost?
Keep buying in. Yeah, 100%. If your buddy beats your time and you think you can beat his, throw another $20 in and see how you do.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll keep going until there are no more takers. So
yeah. Awesome. So is there anything else you wanted to share?
No, I think that covers pretty much everything. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, Vanny. I really wish I could make it for that match, but I'm not leaving the country until certain things get sorted out. So
for sure, I can appreciate that. Well, happy to have you anytime. That's for sure.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks again to Van for coming on to the show. I've seen quite a few Apex products on the line. Taylor and Mal shoots both of their red dots, actually. One on the side, one is the front. What's it called? The Atom and the Fusion.
Yep.
Yeah. So I've seen their equipment on the line, and the Rocky Mountain Challenge sounds very interesting. I'm not that into precision shooting right now, but I'm surprised the sportsman division only allows you to shoot a 6.5, so 308 are excluded. It's a little odd, but yeah, pretty cool. Again, check them out at what's their link? apexoptics.co. Not CA, co.co. Let's go to listener feedback. Do we have any emails for this week?
We do, but we were specifically requested not to read it online. It was a follow-up from last week. So
God.
As much as I would have loved to read that one online, but yeah, he requested not.
At the request of our community, we're not going to read it. All right, let's go to the YouTube comments. We have CCFR commenting on the PCC World Shoot in support of Team Canada on the fire. Yes, and then Eddie, I think Eddie has changed his watching behavior. That now he is commenting later in the cycle instead of earlier in the cycle. Congrats to the Canadian PCC team. As sad state our country is in when athletes have to rent guns from foreign corporations and only be able to compete out of the country. Sad face. Tony, your Savage rifle is your only long-range gun? Well, define long range. BTSA only range out to 200 yards. So like anything out of 50 yards is long range.
Well,
So
no.
then
500. What of your rifles would do 500, Tony?
do you count 223s?
If it's accurate enough, you could do
Ugh.
500.
Oh yeah,
I don't think I'm accurate enough.
223 is accurate enough.
Yeah, you need more guns. This is a good example of the adage Kelly mentioned earlier: 2 is 1, 1 is none.
Yeah.
You want a 7mm rim mag?
No. You have a belt on it. I'm really against belts.
Mm.
It's
Just
just
makes
kind
it
of
stronger.
a Tony thing. I want a 300 rum, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It sounds very dumb. Where I want
Yeah,
to
What about a
300
7mm rum? What if you just
What?
take this thing and you just like cut a little bit,
It's gonna
shave off a
blow
little
up.
bit on the inside there?
How does Kyle have a 300 rum?
I used to have one. I don't have it anymore.
Oh. It was very unpleasant to shoot, or no?
Yeah, it's unnecessary. Absolutely unnecessary. I would take a 300 Weatherby mag over that because,
but
yeah.
more power. Yes,
well, 300 Weatherby mag has power.
that's true.
Like
More.
I've seen a 300 Weatherby disintegrate the side of a deer. So, quartering shot, you won't have the side left of the deer.
Okay, so maybe I
But it's
should.
just unnecessary, and it just it was like the
That's
270 Winchester short. It just wasn't pleasant to shoot.
fair. Adriel, in discussion of Alberta hunting regulation changes, you mentioned going after bear for their fat. What do you do with it? You might want to check out the Bear Grease podcast by the Meat Eaters and Clay Newcomb. And I guess, yeah, there's quite a few
You
things
put
to
it.
talk
You
about.
put that shit on everything. That's
Yeah,
the
you
long and
cook
short.
with
Frank
it,
Greyhawk.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sell on the Benelli loophole sounds like a good opportunity to get a 6.5 PRC for a review. With all the savings, one could top the loophole with a loophole. Top it was an Apex.
Yeah.
That's all the YouTube comments we have for this week. People bought things from our Cabela links. We haven't done that in a while. We should. We should do a mid-year
Next
review
month.
for that.
The start of the month. We'll do it.
You said it. The start of the month, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Thanks to our supporter on Patreon Player. If you like to support us, you can find us on those platforms. If you'd like to email the show, send them to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Shoutouts and recommendations. Adriel?
Oh, I had one. I forget. It was a YouTube.
Write it down.
It was a YouTube something or other. I can't remember what it was. It's gone. Sorry.
Kyle?
Shout out Van. I mean, thanks for coming on. Tell us about the match and new stuff coming in. And I'll be talking to him soon. And recommendation: go find a rifle and go shoot a PRS match. See how it's like. Go shoot Rocky Mountain Challenge.
That's a good one. I'm going to give a shout out to my colleague. I don't know if she want to be mentioned by name, but here's, I guess, Tony's story time. So I know I'm not too close to her at work because she work remote, I work hybrid, as we don't run into each other too often. I've heard rumors that she is a gun owner, but I didn't know she is quite actively involved in IPSC, so that's kind of fun. And she found me on the show because we were doing the show with the IPSC PCC team. So shout out to you. She will know who she is. And join our Discord server. Watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Player. Join the CCFR, and we will see you next week.
Next week.
Later. Good night, Kelly.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.